Hello, Namaskar, Vanakkam. My name is Sudhir and you're watching Study with Sudhir, your own digital classroom. मैं अपने एक बचपन की एक कहानी सुनाता हूं। छोटी सी कहानी है। ये शायद तब की बात है जब मैं दूसरी कक्षा में था, क्लास 2 में था। And at that time I had this fascination to speak in English. Okay, it was a hot summer night and I wasn't feeling sleepy. So I thought of the sentence in my mother tongue, which is Tamil, and translated that into English. I thought of it, எனக்கு தூக்கம் வரல, which means in Hindi मुझे नींद नहीं आ रही है. And I translated it exactly like that into English. And I said, sleep is not coming to me. Is it correct? Obviously, it's wrong. I should have said, I am not feeling sleepy. Now, why am I telling you this? Mainly because this is probably the most common mistake all of us make when we try speaking in English, because we think in the vernacular language. It could be Bengali, Marathi, Gujarati, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Punjabi, whatever, and translate it into English. And that's where most of us go wrong, because the grammar of the English language is very different from the grammar of the vernacular languages. So what I'm going to do as part of SWS 2.0 is to kickstart this series on spoken English, communication skills, and personality development. And I'll tell you why exactly we are doing this. I've seen through my interactions with students over the past 4 years. In fact, on the 2nd of October 2019 is when we started Study with Sudhir. So it's exactly 4 years, a special day for us when we are starting SWS 2.0. The reason is I find that most students lack in the soft skills. Now, going forward, many of you will do your MBBS, your BTech, LLB, various courses. You would become a doctor, engineer, lawyer, architect, journalist, whatever. All of you will be at the same level in terms of your technical skills, domain, subject expertise. Then how would you actually stand out? You would stand out only if you have the soft skills, the emotional intelligence, and the communication skills. In fact, communication, many people focus on spoken English कि अंग्रेजी बोलना सिखा दो, but अंग्रेजी बोलने में और communication skills में जमीन आसमान का फर्क है. अंतर ये है, communication is a much more of a holistic word. It includes not just speaking in English, it also includes the art of listening. It includes your facial expressions. It includes your body language, how I move my hands, what do I convey? Am I conveying the right kind of expression? Everything. All this comes into play as part of communication. So as part of this series, which is absolutely free here on YouTube, and I do hope that I receive your support on this, I'm going to focus on spoken English, of course, communication skills, and personality development. How do you go and speak in front of, let's say, 200 people? How do you do that? What is it that you need to bear in mind? And that's going to be a lot of fun. I assure you, it's going to be a lot of fun. In fact, there is a lot more to tell you. So come with me. So I remember listening to an interview with actor Manoj Bajpayee, one of my favorite actors. And one thing he said always stayed with me. He said in India, English is not a language. It is a skill. So let me make my aim on this series extremely clear to you. My aim is to help you master this skill. So my aim is not to teach you the ABCD of the English language. I'm assuming that all of you are already familiar with the basics of the English language, where you probably understand what another person says to you, but you do not have the confidence to express yourself in English. Now, I have been preparing for this series for the last 2 months or so. I never do anything without adequate preparation and research. And I found a number of channels that focus a lot on English grammar as part of their spoken English course. Now, many of them, let me also say this, are doing some very good work, and my compliments to them. However, I do not completely agree with this approach. Now, that's because my view is that spoken English is a very different animal from written English. Having been a student of English literature, having been a TEDx speaker, having been visiting faculty at various universities, having been part of workshops and seminars for IPS officers, Indian Information Service officers, Indian Forest Service officers, for PSUs like NTPC and defense research organizations, to engage with officers, to tell them how to express themselves and communicate more effectively. And someone who has been in the medium of communication, be it print media, television media, or digital media, I have a slightly different view on this. Now, let me ask you something. When your parents started communicating with you, when you were a tiny infant, in your mother tongue, did they teach you grammar? Did they teach you कि ये वर्तमान काल है, ये भविष्य काल है, be it while speaking in Bengali or Tamil or Marathi or Telugu? Obviously not. Do we think of grammar when we are speaking in our mother tongue? No, we do not. So my point is, why should the rule be different when it comes to speaking in English? Why should we fret and fuss so much over it? Why should we get embroiled in the rules of English grammar? It should not be the case, for instance, that you think page number 59 of Renan Martin or page number 83 of Renan Martin में ये rule लिखा है, so I should apply this, and thereafter you start speaking that particular sentence to another person in English. Obviously, it doesn't quite work like that. So my effort is here to teach you spoken English by telling you tips and tricks to master the language, how to speak in a confident way, how to communicate in an effective manner, right? I'm not saying that we will not touch upon any rule of grammar. We would, but that will not be at the core of this entire series. Now, मैं ये पूरा सीरीज हिंदी में कर सकता हूं, मैं हिंदी में बात कर सकता हूं, मैं दिल्ली में बड़ा हुआ हूं तो मेरी हिंदी ठीक ठाक ही है. But unless you listen to someone who speaks in simple English and you understand his kind of English, you note how I modulate my voice, you note how I stress on specific words, you note how I throw my voice, you note my body language while I'm speaking. Now, because all this is part of the craft of communication, you need to know all these different aspects, and that's what will help you stand out in the crowd. Now, I have been speaking on stage since I was in class 4. Okay, so we are talking of a long time back. And thereby, I do believe I'm pretty qualified to tell you what it takes to speak effectively, especially when it comes to public speaking. So we would have sessions devoted to public speaking. In fact, I would reckon that the second or the third video we will do on public speaking, and this will help all of you, irrespective of whether you are a student or a professional. Now, and there will be much more. Now, you may wonder who all can really make use of this particular series. You can, especially if you are a student, irrespective of which class you are in. You could be in class 4, like the stage where I started. You could be in class 8. You could be in class 12. I'll teach you the craft of public speaking, as I said. Deliver speeches, work on your modulation, work on your diction, the throw of your voice, very important. It should not be the case that you speak in a sing-song kind of voice. The ability to connect with every member of the audience is extremely important. You could be a working professional and you may have to make, let's say, presentations before, let's say, 20-25 people, including your boss. So you need to impress your boss. So how do you impress your boss? That's important. You can impress your boss with a very good presentation, and if you present it well, the PPT plus how you communicate your idea to the rest of the office. That's important. So this series will be of use to you. You could be appearing for an interview, a job interview, let's say. How to answer questions, how to sit for an interview, how to present yourself for an interview, right? All these things are important. Before the interview panel, what should be your body language like? What should you say? How should you introduce yourself? How should you take forward that conversation? Or you meet someone, let's say, at in an informal gathering. How do you introduce yourself? How do you kind of communicate and engage with that particular person who may well be a stranger for you, but someone who could be useful for you in your professional life. All these will be part of this series. Or if you could be, you may be aspiring to be on YouTube, have your own YouTube channel, or you want to be an influencer on Instagram, let's say, or you're looking to network in order to expand your professional or semi-professional circle. You may not have the articulation to speak on camera in English. If you are looking for a career in the media field, in the world of social media, be it any channel, it could be Instagram or on YouTube. So what I'm saying is that you could be in the age group of 8 to 80. This series will have content which will be relevant for you. So I call it skill development time, and the idea is to have a lot of fun. Okay, it won't be gyan giving. I'll tell you tips, but I would want to engage with you on how you react to what I am saying. So it all depends on your response. Show your support by subscribing and sharing this video and the videos that will come with your friends, with your relatives, with anyone you think who could also gain from what we are putting out as part of this series. Trust me, it will be worth it because it's not taken out of any book. It's based a lot on personal experience, what has worked for me, what has not worked for me, what I've seen working for other people and have tried to emulate myself. And bringing this series involves a lot of work. Trust me, it involves a lot of work. So I'd want it to reach as many people as possible. So with this, I want to kickstart the series as far as English speaking is concerned, as far as effective communication is concerned, as far as personality development is concerned. So all this will be part of this particular series. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you.